Congress. I'm joined now by Brendan Brown, Chief Economist at Mitsubishi UFJ Securities International. Brendan, good to see you. Thanks very much for coming in. So, President Barack Obama is going to spend now, the next 2 years of his presidency dealing with a new balance of power in Congress, as we were hearing there. Where do you see the main flashpoints?
Well, the flashpoints are very much going to be theatre, because Republicans are very much limited by what they can achieve, only controlling the House. But they can use their new majority in the House to have an agenda and have lots of theatre, which hopefully, from their point of view, will affect the outcome in the all-important 2012 elections. Now, the flashpoints there, which they can make into theatre, are such issues as the healthcare and Obamacare, and also monetary policy. I think on the Obamacare, the key point is actually to appeal and to keep public opinion on their side, because ultimately when the Supreme Court reviews the legal issues here, the ruling they make may very much be influenced by what the state of public opinion is. So it's very important for the Republicans to keep that on their side.
And among the issues they'll be dealing with, whether or not to raise U.S. government's debt ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, again, that would be very much theatre, because they don't want to jeopardize the U.S. Credit rating or anything like that. So I don't expect to actually see the sort of 1 minute after midnight sort of drama on that. The key issue really there is going to be Republicans producing an agenda of spending cuts which do appeal to public opinion.
Some incoming Republicans have threatened not to increase the limit on government borrowing, which is set at, what, $14.3 trillion now. We're getting awfully close to that point, aren't we?
We're getting very close to outside. But I would see the big issue here is that the public deficit to GDP ratio in 2011 and 2012 is going to be about 10% of GDP, which is ginormous. That's going to come down with the end of the tax cuts and everything else to more like 7% in 2013, but it has to come down over the medium term to more like 1 or 2. So there's a 5% gap there. And really what we're going to see during this Congress is a debate as to the longer-term method of bringing that down. And Republicans' challenge is to position themselves well in the court of public opinion.
So, FOMC minutes, your thoughts on that? Growth isn't fast enough?
I find reading the FOMC minutes almost surreal. It seems as if the Fed is looking at the situation still in the summer, but employment growth is still substandard, unemployment is too low, unemployment is too high. But of course, none of these issues are going to solve themselves quickly. The good news on the US economy is that the momentum does seem to be speeding up, and it's not at all clear that US monetary policy now has any role to play in that process.
But not quite fast enough to bring down the unemployment rate?
Yeah, but unemployment rate coming down is a long process of structural adjustment, investment spending, new opportunities being created. There's no magic wand that Ben Bernanke can produce on that issue.
And inflation?
Well, inflation for now is very low and will remain low, though we're going to see some spike in food and energy prices coming through to the headline. Again, like on the political side, the big uncertainty is where inflation is going to be beyond 2012, not before.
Brendan Brown, Chief Economist at Mitsubishi UFJ Securities. Thanks very much for coming in.